Whoa, here's another DVD thoughts vid. This one, WrestleMania 23, another free discer at WWE. I saw this event when it was on. Didn't really think a lot of it for the overall event. I guess what I felt was it wasn't that special of a WrestleMania overall. I mean, I did enjoy some of the matches of it at the time, but just the overall scope of the event and the revolving thing around the hair versus hair match just left a bad taste in my mouth for WWE at that time, because it was on such a roll leading up to this event and the backlash afterwards. But yeah, 2007 was a very weird year for WWE nonetheless. But yeah, rewatching this event, it's actually a pretty good WrestleMania, I think. Sure, it doesn't really have, for like the 20th anniversary of WrestleMania 3, it doesn't have that special feel that maybe it should do, but nonetheless, I think some of the matches on here are pretty damn good, to be honest. Right, here's like the inside the case. It's like a few pictures there, and a few pictures there as well. With Money in the Bank shots. Yeah, all pretty cool. Looks quite snazzy. Get the Hall of Fame in there. What I hate is on the back covers of some of these DVDs is it shows you the outcome. Now, bear in mind, some people are gonna see there's Vince getting his head shaved. Some people are gonna like be watching this for the first time, like kids and stuff, and that's just a dead giveaway. That's the spoilers. That sucks, really, that they do that in this day and age. But yeah, I'm gonna go through this. The Money in the Bank match, I think, was one of the best Money in the Bank matches they've put on since its inception. It's not as good as the first one, I don't think, and maybe not as good as this year's, but I really enjoyed it. It has 8 men in it: Hardy, Booker, Finlay, Punk, Kennedy, Matt Hardy, Orton and Edge, and has some good moments in it. It's just really nice, really sets a good tone for the show, and Kennedy winning at that point was the right choice, and it's such a shame to think that he's released now, because at that point it was the right time for him to step up and be in the main event. It's just a shame that shit happened to him, basically. And of course there was fucking Kane versus Great Khali. That was dreadful. That was a dire pile of shit, but not as bad as the Divas match later on in the card, I have to say. There was a nice skit with Crime Time and IRS and Sergeant Slaughter and Ric Flair. That was pretty good. Chris Benoit MVP match was the first point of me seeing MVP as a good wrestler, and it was a real good match. Very underrated match, I think. May not have been the best they had during their little feud, but I thought it was great nonetheless. Great match. Yeah, then Batista versus Undertaker. You see, for me, this is at the wrong place in the card. I think this should have main evented the card, but it's in the middle. And this is probably the best match on here, and arguably one of Batista's best matches. And Undertaker really brought it. They both really brought it. Just real good match. Real damn good match, I think. And it should have main evented this pay-per-view. And left off with a good feeling. And yeah, ECW Originals versus the New Breed. Quite a nice moment for the ECW Originals to be on a big stage and win. But basically the match they had on the ECW after this, they should have had that match on this card, the hardcore match. But unfortunately it didn't happen, which sucked. On the hair versus hair match, Lashley versus Umaga with Austin and all that as the referee. Quite a fun little match, like, takes every shortcut imaginable, loads of interference, just a stupid bit of fun really. Took up too much time though, in my opinion. wasn't into it. But yeah, you know, it was there, and it got the buy rate for Vince, and I guess that's all that mattered to him. Ashley and Melina, fucking dire match, I tell you. Just dreadful. And the main event, Shawn Michaels vs John Cena, awesome match. Shawn Michaels really brought something good out of Cena in this one. But at this point in time, I really wanted Shawn Michaels to have one last run with the WWE title. But unfortunately it didn't happen, and Cena won, and it left a bad taste in the mouth of everyone watching WrestleMania at that time. At this point in time, I was pretty much a Cena hater, you know. I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, why is this guy still champion? But, I mean, I've grown to think he's alright now, and put up with him a bit, but at that point in time, I was definitely on the Cena hater bandwagon, and yeah, it wasn't a good ending. I would have preferred Undertaker and Batista to end that show. Some of the extras are alright. There's the press conference of Trump and McMahon. That is quite funny and silly. Has the Lumberjack dark match of Ric Flair and Carlito against Gregory Helms and Chavo. Not a great match. Picks up towards the last moments. It's okay. Has a few skits exposing, yeah, Lashley's best moment in my opinion in WWE, where he exposes Mr. McMahon's bald head. That's just quite a funny little skit on Raw. Also has Austin announced as a special guest referee, which had quite a nice bit cameo from Bischoff. And then there's the Hall of Fame ceremony in Disc 3. A lot of these speeches are shorter than I imagined, but a lot of the people inducting the Hall of Famers are good. There's Nick Bockwinkel with a real short speech. The World Simones, that's quite pleasant. The original Sheik being inducted by RVD and Sabu. Very good stuff with Rob Van Dam building it up. All good. Mr. Fuji, really nice to see him again. And probably the best one for me was Stone Cold inducting JR. Just saying about how they got through the business and that. And there's lots of jokes later on saying, oh, they run out of time, blah blah blah, because of you. But I thought it was nice seeing Jim Ross being able to talk about stuff. Jerry the King Lawler being inducted by William Shatner, what the fuck? Yeah. I don't think it's as good as it could have been. Jerry Lawler just tries to be a naff jokester a lot of the time, and I don't like it, personally. Kurt Hennig being inducted by Wade Boggs, I think. Just nice to see him get that recognition. Mr. Perfect's one of the best wrestlers ever, you know? And Dusty Rhodes' induction closes it off. And I thought it was nice to see Dustin and Cody induct him in. And it was just quite a nice speech from the American Dream, you know, giving props to all his peers and to all the stars of now and everything. And overall, I think this is quite a good DVD, and on the second watch of the actual event was a pretty good WrestleMania. I don't think it's up there within the top 5, maybe not even the top 10, but it certainly has its moments. It's just a shame it didn't have that overall special feel. But yeah, if you can pick this up cheap, I recommend it, even if it's just for the Hall of Fame, because the Hall of Fame's always good to watch. But yeah, there's some thoughts on the WrestleMania 23 DVD. Peace.